This is Talkin Hoopz, the show that discusses real NBA stories, gives you all the latest rumors, and gets you into heated debates.
It's dunks and layups. How many of his points have been jump shots? 0.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
0.
It's not happening. Not in this NBA. Maybe in the fantasy NBA that they're playing in, but not in this NBA.
We're going to challenge each other in practice.
We talking about practice, not a game.
Once the game starts, I mean, it's going to be easy.
You better get off whatever you're smoking.
Strap in, get your popcorn, put your headphones on.
This is Talkin Hoopz.
It's really good to checking out Talkin Hoopz.
Talkin Hoopz.
Talkin Hoopz, the official talk show of NBRP in Miami.
Talkin Hoopz starts right now.
Talkin Hoopz, TalkinHoopz.com. AJ, Kyle, Mark Strickland with you for the show. NBRPA Miami chapter, NBRPAMiami.com. Check them out. The trade deadline approaches. Will big name guys get moved? We got all that and more. And a Zeke trade, could he be going to Philadelphia? Marcus Thornton, could he be headed to the Nets? A lot more on that. Will the Knicks make a big trade? Will anything happen around the league at this deadline? We won't know until Thursday or until trades start happening. But guys, getting into the show, how's everybody doing?
Good, man, good.
Well, that's good.
Everything's good. Weather's warming up. All-Star game is passed. Ready for the second half of the season.
Yeah. All-Star game is passed, and I got to say, interesting statistic here, guys. Not one block in that game. Not one blocked shot.
Another interesting statistic, nobody attempted to play defense.
Well, that goes back to no blocked shots.
Wow.
And Mavs fans, Dirk Nowitzki did not get a lot of playing time. Took 2 shots the whole game, didn't score a point. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the starters were in for a long time, and
They make the game exciting.
they do make the game exciting. Right.
I was done as soon as they got the game. Second quarter, you was kind of like, oh my God. Like, it was boring.
Blake had 18 points in the first quarter and all dunks. But I'd say the All-Star game was probably not even the best part, and neither was the slam dunk. The Rising Skills competition, or the Rising Stars competition, when you had Tim Hardaway Jr. going against Dion Waiters.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that, Mark.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, them two boys was going at each other.
Yeah, I like that.
Everybody was like, oh, this is what LeBron and Durant are going to be like on Sunday. Nah, it wasn't like that. But Tim Hardaway and Dion Waiters put on a show. Yeah. They were going back and forth. It was exciting. That's basketball.
Yeah.
That's what people want to see. You know, in that dunk competition, John Wall, he won with one dunk. He literally did one dunk and won the competition.
I don't like the format, man. I like one person against. Yeah, it just made no team. How you going? And then you picking one dunk to win the contest. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
One dunk.
Yeah.
I ain't like that.
Need another round after that.
I know.
They better change it because you can't have that in New York. Next year it's going to
people.
be in New York. They can't have that format in New York.
A lot of people were complaining about that.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It's terrible.
And then my pick, I thought Steph Curry was going to blow everybody out of the water in the three-point shooting contest. And it looked like Marco Bellinelli just ended up taking over. So
yeah, he woke up. He got hot. He was cold at first, and he got hot. It was over with.
Yeah, he shot 3 air balls throughout the whole day. He shot 2 air balls on the first try.
Man, he shoot air ball.
Yeah.
You know what? Kobe said he may compete in the 3-point competition next year, which will be interesting for a 38-year-old guy to compete in the 3-point competition.
Yeah.
So I guess he wants to get everything in before he retires. You know, I can't knock him for that.
Yeah.
But if you have he compete, and I hope Tim Hardaway Jr. competes because it's going to be in New York.
Yeah.
And he could shoot from half court. We saw it during the skills competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing the Rising Stars, I should say. So if they have Tim Hardaway and Kobe, New York will be well satisfied.
Not just that, after that game, 36 points, you got to think people around the league now are really trying hard to get this guy on their roster. I mean, 36 points in a game like that, I know it was all for fun, but he was shooting a lot of three-pointers, and they were just going in, one after the other. So
And that's what the Knicks' most valuable asset is right now. It's probably Tim Hardaway Jr. If they don't have a draft pick to trade away this year, they have to go into the future if they want to trade a draft pick. And after the shooting drill he put on that night, everybody's going to want him. But the Knicks, they can't trade Tim Hardaway Jr. They can't. They just can't.
Yeah.
right.
They need to keep their assets now.
Yeah. Might as well.
I mean, the Knicks have to pull off a major trade if they're going to win a championship this year. I mean, they got to bring in 2 superstars to play alongside Melo if they're going to win
They're
this
not
year, and
winning
that's just
this
not
year.
going to happen.
Let's get away from that. They're not winning this year.
No, not this year at all. No. Not the Knicks. No.
2015. That's their plan. Their whole plan is 2015. That's when everybody comes off the books.
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway will still be there because he'll still be on his rookie deal. Melo, if he re-signs with the Knicks, he'll be there. But that's it. You're not really looking at anybody else on that roster. So they can go out and get 2 big-name superstars. And you look at some of the guys out there, Rondo, Kevin Love, 2 free agents in 2015.
Yeah. I don't think they said they're not gonna move Rondo. You think they're gonna move Rondo? I don't think so.
Well, he'll be a free agent in 2015. If he doesn't sign an extension with them, he'll be a free agent in 2015.
Yeah.
He'll be able to sign wherever he wants. They said that they would trade him, or at least the report is that they would trade him if somebody gave them 2 first-round picks, 2 unprotected first-round picks. Nobody's gonna give that. Nobody's giving that for Rondo. Sorry.
Not right now. No. You can get 1, not 2.
You get 1 pick.
Yeah.
And some other players. You're not
gonna get 2
for Rondo.
No, not for that. No.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I don't know who else. Who else is a big time free agent?
Coming up this year.
Yeah.
You got Pau Gasol this year.
He'll get moved. You think he'll get moved?
He's probably the biggest name that would get traded. If there is a trade, he'd probably be the biggest name to go.
Yeah.
So you got Gasol, who's going to be a free agent. And then you got a bunch of guys who can opt out and become free agents. You got Melo could opt out. He could be a free agent. LeBron, he can opt out and be a free agent. Yeah. Bosh, Wade, they can all opt out and become free agents.
Yeah.
So if all these guys end up opting out, this could be as big as the 2010 free agent class.
I mean, we keep saying that though, man, but then ain't nobody doing that. We thought it was going to be a bunch of trades for the trade deadline. Now it looks like nobody's going to do anything. Like, it keeps doing the same thing. Like, it's like people are scared to make a move.
I think once one trade goes down, all pieces will begin falling. You need one trade to happen.
Yeah.
But you also got Greg Monroe. He'll be a free agent from Detroit. Dirk will be an unrestricted free agent. Tim Duncan has a player option. He can opt out. Eric Bledsoe, he's hurt right now, but he'll be a free agent. Luol Deng. There's a lot of players. There's a lot of players that are free agents this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Yeah, be a lot of moving and shaking. I feel like to be
the Brooklyn boy Lance Stevenson. If the Pacers don't re-sign him, that should be one of their top priorities this offseason. But
got to be.
Who knows how much money he's gonna want?
Especially if they pass the Heat, it has to be. It has to pass the Heat, I think, though.
I think
he's a good young piece. He's a good young piece to have.
He is. But I don't know how much money he's going to command. And I know that they're going to have Granger's money off the books, but Lance Stevenson is having a very good year this year. He may prove to be too expensive for them.
Yeah, maybe. He's balling. They got to keep him, though. If they get rid of Granger, they got to keep him.
Well, some of the names that are rumored to be moved now is Jason Terry from Brooklyn and Reggie Evans in exchange for Marcus Thornton from Sacramento. So that trade could happen. It looks like the Nets want to try and get some backcourt help. So either it's Marcus Thornton or Jared Jack from Cleveland. A lot of teams want Jared Jack. Sacramento and the Nets are among those teams. Yeah. So it may take some of these smaller pieces for some bigger trades to go down, but right now it is dead. Everybody was predicting a huge trade season. So many pieces were going to be moved, and nothing has been moved. And I'm a little surprised, but nobody has made any moves. I think the whole Eastern Conference has given up and said, we don't need to trade. We're not going to try and get better because it's just not going to happen. It's not in the cards this year. Miami and Indiana got it.
Yeah.
I can't remember a time when there was only 2 teams in the East and then that was it.
Me neither. Yeah. It's always been at least 4 or 5.
At least 4 or 5.
Yeah, at least 4 or 5.
And you had teams in the 7-8 seed that may have a chance to upset. Yeah. But ever since Miami formed their Big 3, the Eastern Conference has been just terrible.
Yeah, nobody can beat them. Not in the series. I still don't think nobody can beat them in the series.
The Indiana, Miami, they're 1A and 1B. And then you move over to the West. That's a lot more, obviously, crowded. Yeah. And if you think about who are the best teams, I don't know if Portland is going to be able to survive the whole season in the top seed. I don't know if they're going to be that good all year.
Yeah.
So maybe Portland. I
don't like Portland. I told you my pick out there is Golden State.
Golden State, but they're struggling. They can barely stay in the playoffs right now.
They'll make a turn.
They can barely stay in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
They gotta maybe make a move. I
Yeah.
think Iguodala gets traded.
Get rid of David Lee though, man. That's the only piece I keep hearing that they gonna move.
Maybe Andre Iguodala. Maybe he gets moved. Harrison Barnes. And Barnes in the dunk contest, kind of disappointing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was North Carolina dunks though.
They kept saying that he's a good in-game dunker. This and that.
It was covering for him before the contest even started. Like, man, he shouldn't have been in it then.
Yeah, as soon as the state didn't even dunk yet, they were like, "Oh, he's not an in-game dunker."
I watched the whole thing. Like, man, why are they covering for him? He ain't even got one dunk off. They still covering for him.
Yeah,
it was entertaining. I just hate the format, man. That was terrible. Have 3 guys out there at one time dunking, passing the ball to each other, then you helping each other out. Then it's I like the competition. I like the competition. Competition is much better, yeah.
And you see, you couldn't really even appreciate the dunks because it was all go, boom, 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 boom. You couldn't even sit back and be like, damn, you couldn't appreciate them.
They gotta change that back.
Yeah, and it had all the makings for it to be a great dunk competition. And I think the
format. They had guys that could hop, but you really couldn't see it because nobody could really get warmed up. Like they couldn't have a dunk off or nothing. It was just right. Like, okay, you three dunk, make one dunk, then we pick the best dunk. No.
They need to have those 3 advance to the final round and have them each do like 2 dunks each or something like that.
Yeah.
Because the D-League competition was more impressive than that. It was really a big letdown.
Yeah, dunk contest was bad.
Ben McLemore, you see, Ben McLemore had a creative dunk. He dunked over the King's chair, which was nice.
Yeah.
That's taller than the car that Blake jumped over, I think. Cause Blake.
Yeah. That car, he jumped right over the hood, and he hit the rim before he even crossed the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an illusion. I mean, it worked for him.
Yeah.
It worked.
So the King's chair was nice. That was nice. And I think that to have 3 guys judge the competition like that, they get to pick the dunk. It's so arbitrary. It's like Magic Johnson, Dominique Wilkins, and I'm not saying that they're not capable of judging it because obviously they are.
Yeah.
But they should do maybe like a scorer's table. Go back to the scorer's table where everybody puts up a score. And then you add up the scores instead of guys picking. Yeah. Because every time it came down to
East West. It just didn't make sense.
I think they stretched it way too far.
Yeah.
But back to the Western Conference, you got Oklahoma City sitting in number 1 seed, San Antonio, Houston, the Clippers, Portland, Dallas, Phoenix. Golden State is the 8th seed.
Don't matter.
Okay, the 8th seed is Golden State.
Don't matter.
Even though they're 31-22, if you take Golden State and put them into the Eastern Conference, they're in the 3rd seed.
No.
But because they're in the West, they sit in the 8th seed, and they're only a game and a half up on Memphis.
That's my sleeper, though, still.
All right. I mean, I don't know. Phoenix is in the 7th seed. I don't know if they'll be able to hold on.
No. That's what I'm saying. We'll leapfrog that. They'll leapfrog that for sure. Especially once about 4 weeks into this second part of the season hit, then you start some teams will start to think injuries, little nitpicks here, bad loss there. So I'm looking, Golden State. That's my pick.
So you got Phoenix ahead of them, so you think they'll leapfrog them. What about Dallas? Can they leapfrog Dallas?
Yeah, they'll fall out too.
Dallas fall out. And what about Portland?
I mean, I just don't see them being. Oh man, they don't have the experience. It's different in the playoffs.
It's different in the playoffs, but we're talking about what seed they're going to get into the playoffs, right? So
depending on who they face. They face a San Antonio or somebody like that, it's a wrap.
Well, if they sit in right now, they're sitting in the 8th seed, and they got to play Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
They're not going to beat OKC.
They're not going to beat OKC with OKC having home court advantage.
No, not going to happen.
So, if Golden State can rise above Phoenix and Dallas, and let's say Portland also, that means that they'll be in the 5th seed. And if they were in the 5th seed right now, they would be playing the Clippers in the first round. That would be a tough too.
That's tough too. I don't know why you don't like the Clippers.
I like the Clippers.
They just don't play D, man.
They don't play defense.
Defense is horrible.
Blake Griffin is not a great defender. No knock to his game, but he's just not a great defender.
Oh.
And there's a lot of guys that just score more than anything else. You got Chris Paul scores a lot.
Dribble too much.
What?
He be on the ball too much, dribbling the ball too much. The ball should move a little more. A lot of time. I mean, if he don't have the initial, because he comes down, I see what he's probing to get somebody. But if that don't happen, he needs to move the ball. He dribbles, then dribbles to a pick and roll, then dribbles to another pick and roll. Like, it's too much dribbling. You need to get off the ball some.
Maybe they're just looking for the next alley-oop. That's what they're looking for.
Can't do that, dog. You only got 1 or 2. After 1 or 2, you got to start moving the ball. You got to.
Lob City. They just
Lob City ain't gonna be in the playoffs though. Ain't gonna be too many Lob City. Not in the playoffs. No.
Yeah, but in the playoffs it slows down.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what led to their demise last season, you know. And
I'm saying they need to start working on the half-court game. What are we gonna do if we can't run and throw lobs? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna hold our hat on? So they're athletic enough to be a great defensive team, but
when they run, Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan are perfect for that system. But when they're in the half courts, that's when you're going to need guys like Jared Dudley.
Yeah.
You're going to need guys like J.J. Redick. And J.J. Redick hasn't been healthy lately. So it's been hard. Jamal Crawford's been thrusted a lot into the starting lineup. And I think they need him. They need his bench scoring, for sure.
Yeah.
And another thing that happened over All-Star Weekend was this constant debate of Mount Rushmore. Who are your 4 players on Mount Rushmore?
It's hard to pick.
And Kobe said it's impossible to pick 4.
Yeah, it's impossible.
And it is. It's so arbitrary. It's like you can't say 4 people and then that's it.
No.
Because you can always make the case for that 5th and 6th guy and that 7th guy.
You only got maybe like 1 or 2 guys that everybody would pick, which would be Michael Jordan,
right?
Magic Johnson, or Bird. One of the 2.
Okay. Well,
those 2 are always gonna be on there. You know, always.
Can you do a Mount Rushmore without them 2? Can you say Jordan?
Yeah.
Bill Russell?
Yeah. How many championships Magic win?
5? 5. I think Magic has 5 and Bird has 3.
Okay.
So can you do it with Jordan, Russell,
Yeah.
Kareem?
Yeah, I like Kareem.
Kareem
had big numbers.
Kareem did have big numbers.
Yeah. Who else?
And Wilt Chamberlain, can you do it with those 4? And leave Magic and Bird off? And what about LeBron? LeBron said that he's going to be on that mountain. Somebody's got to get bumped. Somebody's got to get bumped. And I can't argue with him. Right now.
I mean, who we going to bump, though? What you going to bump, Bird?
I don't know.
I would pick Oscar Robertson over Larry Bird.
I don't know. I mean, the big O. I mean, this guy, yeah.
It's triple-double, man. Come
triple
on.
doubles all day. I know.
Averaging. Come on. That's big numbers.
I think what you have to do is, because it's so nonsense to try to pick 4 people and then you snub
by position?
No. Well, you could do it by position.
Yeah.
But I think you have to do a Mount Rushmore of decades.
Okay.
Who is the top 4 players of 2000 and 2010?
Yeah.
Who is the top from 1990 to 2000?
Yeah.
From 80 to 90. But you could do it by position also.
Yeah. You could.
That, then you open it up for John Stockton to make the Mount Rushmore. You know, you have Stockton and Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
And you open it up for Kobe to be on it, you know, and LeBron to be on it. But where would you put LeBron? Would you put him as a small forward? Would you put him as power forward? Where would you throw him? So it's crazy, but that's all they kept asking. They kept asking everybody that question. They kept asking.
I think Russell was kind of insulted by it. Remember, he gave like the subliminal message to LeBron, like, remember what this is about.
It's a team game.
You didn't catch that?
He said something about it in a team game, right? He couldn't have won.
Yeah, remember what this is about. I think they was kind of like, hey, it's not about Mount Rushmore. But it's impossible to pick. I mean, everybody knows you can't pick 4 players out of all the greatest players. You can't leave Jerry West. He's a symbol.
He's a symbol.
You know what I mean?
I could rank all those guys that we mentioned. I think I'm comfortable putting them ahead of Jerry West. As good as Jerry West was, I'm comfortable with them. It's just when you get all of them in a room, it's like you can't. It's too hard to pick between those dudes.
Yeah.
So
you say Bird was Bird in the room?
Bird, yeah, Bird is in there.
Okay, all right.
Bird, he has to be in there.
But you forget like Tiny Nate Archibald and them type people.
No, that I think you're reaching. I mean, we're talking about 4 best of all time. I think Nate, you're reaching with that. I think the guys that we mentioned.
George Mikan. You can do George Mikan. Game changer. He was a game changer.
I think there's 7 to 8 guys that fight for that top 4, and then you can throw LeBron in there, and maybe
Kobe.
Maybe. I don't know, but maybe.
Really? Kobe got what? 5 championships?
Yeah, but he's got what? 1 MVP. All these other guys are multiple MVP winners, including LeBron, and he's still playing.
Yeah, he got a long time to go.
And then the other thing, he may play another 8 to 10 years, LeBron.
Yeah, with modern medicine and the way you can train now, man, and the way his body, man, with athleticism he has, easy 10 more years without
he have another 5 years, 7 years of prime basketball.
Killing, unstoppable for sure.
He could next year maybe average a triple-double. I mean, you never know with him. He comes out next year and averages a triple-double, then he's the best player of all time.
I don't think he's aggressive enough for that yet. I think he's getting there because he's starting to beat his chest a little bit every now and then, just to let people know. But he takes jab after jab after jab after jab. Eventually, you got to stick up for yourself. And I think that's at the point where he's at. Like, come on now, I've been listening, and now I'm showing you, now I got to tell you too.
He's not. He should be. He is the best player in the NBA, and I still think he's better than Durant, even though Durant has been on a scoring tear. Yep. And that's the other thing everybody kept talking about: Durant and LeBron. Who's better? And Durant got tired of it. Durant said, I'm tired of talking about this. Yep. At first, Durant was defending himself and saying, "Look, I'm tired of being number 2. Want to be the best player." But it's like, how many times can you ask the same player the same questions?
Oh, yeah.
Durant is very good. But until he beats LeBron, until he has a championship, he's not better than LeBron.
Oh, y'all win a chip. He won a chip. We'll consider it. Then he got another chip. Then we'll be like, oh, okay, maybe it's a legitimate argument. But we can't go right into it. Like right now, no. That's what I said. I can't. No. LeBron, for sure.
You got to go with LeBron.
Yeah.
So those are the things that were really going around All-Star Weekend. It was who's the best player, who's the Mount Rushmore, and then the NBA dunk format everybody was getting on. Next year, though, in New York, they got to change that up. And I really think that next year's slam dunk contest is going to be special because guys that normally turn down the dunk contest, I want to get involved.
Maybe LeBron do it. Maybe LeBron will do it.
If LeBron does it, that would shut the city down.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest story of the season.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds, it's just a small contest, but it would be, everybody would go crazy over it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that'd be cool. Paul George.
I don't know if George is going to do it. He's now lost 2 times. I don't know if he's going to be in anymore.
You need to, man. But this time, man, it was like, it wasn't even a contest. He did when he got a trophy for being on the E squad.
Yeah, I don't even understand that. I really don't. So,
yeah, man, that was bad.
But I think a lot more people are going to be in it, and I hope that Tim Hardaway Jr. is in that 3-point competition.
Probably more likely. What about him, J.R. Smith?
In the 3-point competition.
What about your boy J.R. Smith?
Nah.
You don't want him in the contest?
Look, J.R. Smith is a great player. I don't know if he's a 3-point competition player. And I don't even know if he's going to be on the
Wasn't he in it once? With Denver? Wasn't he in it one time?
I don't know. Maybe he was.
I think he was in it one time.
That's the thing. I don't remember. He could have very well been. He could have been throwing him up.
Yeah.
Well, New York next year it'll be big, but this season, all right. So your prediction is the Warriors, right? To come out West.
Warriors.
All right. So you got the Warriors, and I guess in the Heat.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, did you see Tim Hardaway and his father competing? You saw that?
Yeah, I saw.
Man, they could not knock down the half-court shot.
Oh, man, it took too long. Chris Bosh was real lucky, though.
It was first shot, right?
Yeah, first shot, then second shot.
First or second shot, something like that. That Bosh knocked it down. See, Hardaway Jr. and the WNBA player, I can't remember, they all knocked down their shots on the first shot. Boom, boom, boom. And the broadcasters were like, this could be a record. Like, these guys just ran through the first thing. Then it took them like 2 minutes to hit the half-court shot, and it was over.
The half-court shot, yeah. I enjoyed that. Then the Currys. Yeah, it was cool.
And Steph, not only could they not win that, but Steph couldn't even win the 3-point competition, which I'm sure surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, I thought he was going to shoot a little better. But
it's different, though. I mean, I know you're not a 3-point shooter, but it's different taking the ball off the rack than having it passed to you.
Yeah.
Well,
Bradley Beal did well. Bradley Beal, he did well.
Bradley Beal did well. He forced
He did well. Yeah, he surprised me. I might watch a couple more Washington Wizards games now.
He's playing good basketball. He's been hurt this season, but he's been playing really well when he's been healthy.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we got the Warriors, right? And then who do we have in the East coming out? We got the Heat.
Of course.
The Pacers can't beat them.
Not yet.
What if the Pacers have home court advantage over the Heat? What if they finish with a better record than the Heat? Because remember, they almost beat the Heat last season. If it wasn't for Frank Vogel,
a little luck. I know it was a little luck last year, but they didn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, man, they
close.
I still, man, I have to see them this second half of the season. If they're still, man, they go through periods, like I said, where they can't score.
Okay.
And you can't do that against the Heat, especially in the playoffs, because they're too much of a fine-tuned engine. So they know exactly. They know what they're gonna do. They know the move, the counter to that. Like, so you can't go through stretches, man, like 8 to 10 minutes, man, where you're not getting a basket. Like, you can't do it. Then also the question is the big fella. What is it? Herbert? Roy Herbert? Yeah. You'll have a game where he's effective, then you have a game where he's not effective. He's in foul trouble. Then you have a game where he's effective, then you have like 2 games where he's in foul trouble or he's not scoring or something. So it's too many ifs. It's too many ifs with them, man. Not yet.
Dwayne Wade is the biggest if of all.
Not yet, though.
He can't stay healthy.
Who?
Dwayne Wade.
I mean,
he can't play back-to-backs. They sit him all the time. I mean,
they're doing that now so he can play in the playoffs. He ain't gonna sit in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. That's why we getting through all this. That's why we don't really we're not concerned with home court because he got to play. He played last year.
That knee is always sore. I'm always seeing reports about Dwayne Wade's knee being sore. Can't play in this game. Can't play in that game.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
They're deep, but they're not as deep as they were last year.
Yeah, that's true. No, we got Beasley. I think Beasley scores like he can score. We'll be all right. If Beasley scores like he can score, I like Beasley. I think he's the secret weapon because he can put up 20 like that.
I don't know. That's a lot. There's another guy who hasn't played in the no playoff experience. You always talk about no playoff experience.
I mean, but he was some guys that I
know he was with the Heat back there.
That make everybody else better on the court.
Okay. You're right.
With the guy that makes everybody better on the court.
And in the Western Conference, if you look at the Western Conference,
you
got Golden State. That's your pick, but I can't see them being better than
OKC.
Oklahoma City. No,
you got OKC too. No.
They're not. They're just not better than them.
Yeah, I like OKC if it's not Golden State. Golden State, I'm just kind of reaching. You know what I mean?
Golden State is a big reach, especially right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's early though. We got a lot of basketball to play.
Got a lot of basketball.
Though. So we'll see.
I like Houston. And
man, they could though. I like them. Anytime you got a big fella back there that can block shots, man, and get your defensive stops, you're a tough team. With Houston though, they gotta make shots. See what I'm saying? When they don't make shots, they horrible. They got to be making shots. They like the Knicks. When the Knicks are making jump shots and threes, come on, man. They look like a whole completely different team. When they missing shots, that's when it all goes bad. Houston is like that.
Knicks are always missing shots, so they always look bad.
Yeah, I know. It was a stretch last year, though, in the beginning of the season. Last year, man, they was really shooting the ball really well, and everybody was thinking, like, oh, the Knicks this year, oh, the Knicks. I was like, nah. I got to see them when they don't make shots. That was last year, though, but I mean, I think they do the same thing as the Knicks used to do. Houston not making shots, then they don't have anything to hold their head on. I'm not sold on Houston yet. They need a couple more pieces.
The Knicks last year attempted the most 3-point shots ever in a season and made the most 3-point shots ever in a season. And then when they played Indiana, they weren't knocking down those shots, and that's what happened. They got eliminated when they weren't knocking down the 3-point shot.
Yeah.
And now you fast forward to this season, they have a slightly different personnel, and they're really not knocking down their shots. And Melo is kind of the only guy that's playing basketball out there.
Yeah.
And now they're not doing too well. And that's a team that I thought was definitely going to make at least one trade. Because because the Knicks may be aware that they can't win, but they're not even in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I know.
They're sitting in 10th place.
But I don't think any move is going to put them in the playoffs or make any difference. They still going to lose.
If they can upgrade the point guard spot, because Raymond Felton has not been playing well, he's even admitted to not playing well. If they can upgrade the point guard spot, I still think that this Knicks team can be a 4 or 5 seed in the East this year.
Man, they're going to have to get somebody like Rondo. Which they can't get. That's what I'm saying. So, that's the only thing gonna make a difference in New York. Somebody like that.
They need to
has to be an impact guard.
They do. They need an impact guard. You're right. And I think that J.R. Smith is kind of holding up the progression of Tim Hardaway Jr. and it's taking away playing time from Shumpert. And I think if they can find somebody to take J.R. Smith to open up more playing chances. For Tim
might well experiment the rest of the season now. Might as well.
Tim Hardaway Jr., he proved he can score. In that Stars game, he put up 36 points. He proved he can shoot. He proved he can score.
He had 20 Christmas Day.
That's right. Yeah, he needs the minutes, though. It's too crowded in that backcourt for him right now.
Yeah.
So they need to make at least one move, I think, to get Shumpert and to get Hardaway Jr. more playing time.
Yeah.
And maybe they deal Shumpert. And that's fine. That's more playing time than for Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
Put him in the starting lineup. Put him at the starting 2 and see what happens.
Yeah.
Let him start at the 2 guard for the next 2 weeks.
All I was going to do is give him more experience.
That's right. And he's going to be a part of your future anyway, so why not try to get him better now?
Might as well. That'd be smart.
That wants to be good now, and then you look at the other side of the country and you look at the Lakers, and all they're trying to do is get rid of all the contracts that they can because next season, this offseason, they're going to be major players in free agency. They have all the cap space in the world to sign guys.
Yeah, Kobe going to bring somebody out there.
I don't know if Kobe's ever going to play again.
You don't think so?
Nah, he's going to play again for sure, but he still can't do anything but ride the stationary bike. He can't do anything but ride a stationary bike right now.
Yeah.
He still has swelling and soreness in his left knee, and he admitted it over All-Star Week, and he said it's going a lot slower than I thought.
Yeah.
Recovery time is going a lot slower.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know if it's his age or the wear and tear. I don't know if there's something even more serious wrong about his knee that we just don't know about yet.
No. But
this isn't good.
No, it's not good. Especially when he's talking about maybe I might be done. You know, you never used to Kobe talking like that. You used to like, okay, I'll be back. I'm going to do this. But, it's time, man. I mean, it's time. He has nothing else to prove, I don't think. And I don't see him. I don't know why he want to come back and play with those guys anyway. He's not really going to help. You know what I mean? I'll be like, look, I'm going to rehab. I'm going to take my time so I won't have any other type of injuries. I want this to heal right. And then I'll come back. Get the playing ball this summer against some guys, and then I'll come back next year and be ready to go, man, when I can bait somebody out here that can help me, and I don't have to do everything. That's the perfect scenario, but I know he's not going to do that.
I think in his mind, he still has a lot to prove. He wants to prove that he can still play with the younger guys. He wants to prove that he can still win a championship. He wants to prove that he can still score 25 a game.
I don't think he's going to win another championship unless they get some major pieces in trade.
Well, they're going to have a lot of cap room next year. They can sign a lot of guys next year. And Kobe may be able to bring some guys over, but you're talking about next year, they only have $35 million on the books next year.
Okay.
And one of them is Steve Nash, who has $9 million next year. Maybe he
need to retire too, man.
He might retire.
He need to retire, man.
He can't stay healthy either.
He need to retire, man. Like his back, like when you got problems with your back, it's like, man, because you can't. Like you say, he feel healthy one day, then the next day he feels like he can't even move. Like it's time to retire, man. Like you almost 40? You be 40 soon? Come on, man. Like it's time to give it up, man. It's over with. It's a wrap.
Two-time MVP, but he's another guy that wants to prove he can still do it.
He doesn't have a championship, no? Steve Nash don't have a championship.
Steve Nash doesn't have a championship.
Wow.
I can understand the desire to still want to play.
Yeah, he needs to retire though.
But if you can't even get on the court.
Yeah.
So if he retires, let's just say he retires.
Yeah.
It's another $9 million they save. You're talking about $26 million on the books for the Lakers, and that's all Kobe Bryant pretty much because he's making $23 million next year.
Yeah.
So they can fill out their whole roster. If they can get another two superstars and one, sort of superstar, star, they can compete. Kobe would just have to accept maybe if they bring in two superstars.
I think he'll accept that role.
He may have to accept a smaller role. He may have to say, look, these other guys are going to score 20 and 25. I'm only maybe going to score 18. I'm not going to be, for the first time in 15 years, I'm not going to be the leading scorer on the Lakers.
Yeah.
He may have to accept that.
I hope he accepts that. That'll give him at least 2 more years to play and maybe one more championship. And I think that's what he wants.
If Kobe gets one more championship,
yeah, man, he's in the conversation for sure.
That's impressive.
Yeah, he's in the conversation for sure. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. A little breaking news that I just got is that the Knicks may be targeting an old familiar face in Jeremy Lin.
Really? What?
Yeah.
All that Jeremy Lin
all that Lin sanity coming back to the Garden. All that Lin sanity coming back to the Garden.
Houston want to get for who? J.R. Smith? You think they want J.R. Smith?
First of all, you can't bring Lin back because he's going to get booed. He left New York. Every New Yorker felt betrayed. They thought, we gave you your name. We got you your stardom. We got you your paycheck. And you're going to turn around on us and bolt for a couple extra million from Houston.
Yeah, man.
It's not working out for him in Houston. They're very deep. They got Aaron Brooks and Patrick Beverley who can handle the ball. And they need to add, like you said, they need some pieces. So they're heavy at point guard. Why not deal one of these guards and get something back? Maybe Shumpert. Maybe it's Iman Shumpert that goes there.
Maybe. I mean, I think somebody will take him before they take J.R. Smith.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's going to be hard for somebody to take J.R. Smith. But ESPN is reporting that the Knicks are targeting Jeremy Lin, and Lin's contract ends in 2015, which is part of the Knicks' plan because, again, remember, in 2015, only Melo is on the books. Melo and like Tim Hardaway, they're not going to have a lot of guys on the books, so they can go after 2 superstars. So Lin's contract will expire by then. They don't have to worry. And another thing, this is for you. Apparently, Norris Cole is getting a lot of interest.
They can't get rid of him though, man. He balling. They can't get rid of him. Like there's nothing else out there that'll fill that spot like he fills it. I don't see them doing that. I really don't.
You don't think Norris Cole is tradable?
To who though? For what?
It's just all I'm getting right now.
You're not getting Rondo for him. Ain't no use in trading.
Oh, now you're not gonna get Rondo for Norris Cole, man.
Yeah, so that's
you're living in a fantasy world. You and Mountner, man. Mountner be proposing the most lopsided trades for the Knicks that make absolutely no sense, and he swears he can convince you that it's a good deal.
But I'm saying,
like you could trade Jeremy Tyler for Kobe Bryant, and he'll be like, yeah, Jeremy Tyler's a young player. Of course they'll want Jeremy Tyler. No, they're not getting Norris Cole. But trading Norris Cole. I mean, how important is Norris Cole?
He's huge, man. He knocks down a big 3. He's huge for us. He been clutch this year. That's a 1-2 punch. It's 2 different. You got a speedy guy. You got a guy that both guys can knock down 3s with him and Rio. You got one that's a little bit better defensively because he's quicker. I mean, he's younger and he's quicker. So, it's a perfect piece for what we're trying to do down here. I mean, I don't see nobody else. Them trading him for nobody else that's going to fill that type of void for us. That shooting void, that defensive void, that extra guard who can come in, give you big buckets. And he's fearless, man. He don't play down to LeBron now. He comes in and he hoops. That's what you need.
I think when you have Mario already, and you have LeBron who can handle the rock.
Yeah.
If they had to make a deal, I can see why Norris Cole may be a guy that they deal.
Yeah, he's the only one that somebody gonna trade for right now, really.
Yeah, you can't get Bosh or Wade or LeBron in a deal. Nobody wants to trade. No offense, but nobody's going to trade for Odin, and nobody's going to trade for Beasley.
No.
So, and they can't trade Shane Battier. He's too important to what the Heat do.
Yeah.
So if you look around, that's what.
They'll never trade UD.
And Mountner, our third stooge over here, he's having some technical difficulties, so he can't be in it. But he put this trade together. This is another one of those delusions that Knicks fans have. See, this is why I hate calling myself a Knicks fan. Not because they're bad, but
Yeah.
because Knicks fans are not realistic and they always do some random nonsense that makes everybody hate you.
Yeah.
So this is what he put some crazy deal together that Rondo and Jeff Green go to New York. New York sends Tyson Chandler and Kyle Lowry to Boston, and Shumpert, Metta World Peace, Felton, and a first-round pick to Toronto. So basically, the Celtics are trading Rondo for
Yeah.
Tyson Chandler and Kyle Lowry.
No.
And Kyle Lowry is a free agent at the end of the year.
He's
They
nice,
don't even
though.
keep him.
Yeah. Ain't they trying to trade him though?
Who, Lowry?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're back and forth. Sometimes they want to trade him, other times they don't want to trade him.
Yeah.
But they definitely want a first-round pick.
Yeah.
But that's not the thing. It's like, why would the Celtics trade Rondo for Tyson Chandler and a point guard who's going to be a free agent at the end of the year?
Maybe
The whole reason Toronto wants to trade Lowry is because he's having such a good year that he's
Yeah.
going to demand a lot of money next year. And Toronto doesn't want to spend all that money on Kyle Lowry. They want to go out into free agency and be able to spend on who they think will fit the system. And the Celtics are in that same boat. You don't want to take
Yeah.
on Lowry and then have to pay him a big contract and have that take away from your free agent dollars.
Yeah. Well, who's gonna come to Boston? Ain't nobody going to Toronto. Not a big time free agent.
Chandler and Lowry would go to Boston. And then Toronto would get a whole bunch of other guys like Metta World Peace and who else? They would get a first-round pick.
Yeah.
And Iman Shumpert and Raymond Felton. And another guy. Raymond Felton can barely keep his job in New York. It's like, who's going to want to trade for Raymond Felton?
Oh.
So, good job, Mountner, but you're wrong. And I know you can hear me, but you're wrong. So, go back to the drawing board, and it's just a good thing you're not a GM. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
So, we got a couple minutes here before we wrap up. Indiana, Miami. For my pick, I think Indiana takes Miami.
Really?
Second half of the season, I think Indiana plays better. Look, Miami has not played well against bad teams. They can't. It seems like that's their kryptonite.
Yeah.
They've lost to the Pacers this year, so you know that the Pacers are capable of beating them already.
Yeah.
And I just think that the Pacers are too big. And Lance Stevenson's progression. See, last season, Dwayne Wade versus Lance Stevenson, it was like, all right, that's a great matchup, but Dwayne Wade is better. This year, it's not like that. Wade's knee, to me, holds him back, and I think Lance Stevenson has that matchup.
Okay. All right. We'll see. I'm listening.
And I think it'll be an X factor. I think Lance Stevenson is a big X factor this
Yeah,
season.
if he stays under control and continue growing and maturing like he's maturing, yeah, he'll be a huge factor. It's gonna be a good. I'm gonna be looking forward to that series. It's gonna be an interesting series.
It's going to be a great series. And don't forget, last season, they went to what? They went to 7 games, right?
Yep.
That was a 7-game series.
Yeah.
And last season, they didn't have Danny Granger. Granger is back. They didn't have Luis Scola. Luis Scola is signed.
Yeah.
That's 2 extra pieces. And then you look at what Miami did. They brought in Beasley and Odin. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's like, no offense to them, but Odin is not great anymore. Or if he was. And Beasley, he needs playing time to be effective. If you put him in for 5 minutes, I don't think he can have an effective 5 minutes. There are some guys, right? I mean, there are some guys that can come in for 7 minutes, a game, 10 minutes.
He can score points. He can put points up real fast.
Okay. How is he defensively? You watch Heat games more than I do.
He needs to get better on the rotations, yes.
Well,
That's true.
Yeah.
By playoff time, he will be that. Because we're going to need him to be that.
and Hibbert, I think, is better than he was last year. Again, the Heat don't have top size.
Yeah, he's improved. They on a mission. I mean, they let it be known. They're letting it be known. They're on a mission to beat the Heat.
And I think that they will. And I think it's going to be Oklahoma City and Indiana. And
So,
it's going to be a great series.
yeah.
That's my prediction.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Who you got winning it, though?
I think this year is Oklahoma City's
Yeah,
year.
Durant?
I think it's Durant's year.
Durant is first
I think he finally
championship.
gets it done.
Wow. That's going to put him in the conversation. Mount Rushmore.
But if you see how good they are without Westbrook, when Westbrook comes back, I mean, they're in first place in the toughest division without Westbrook.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive. Like
So-
they ain't lost a beat. You know.
You just can't stop Durant. You can't
Yeah.
stop him.
Yeah.
Not even if you had a genie, you just can't stop that man. He's just too bad. He's basically
Yeah, he killing.
he's like a guard forward who can shoot and take you to the rim. He's got everything at his disposal.
6'11".
You talk about LeBron, he's the same as LeBron, maybe just not physically. And he's got a better shot than LeBron.
Yeah, he can shoot that ball.
Better shooter than LeBron.
Deeper.
So I don't know. I think Durant takes his team there and they win it all. And the Heat losing, somebody's opting out. I think Chris Bosh opts out of his contract. I think Chris Bosh is gone after this year.
What you think LeBron gonna do?
I think he stays.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he's built a home there. I think he's built a solid foundation. Miami, they're a good team. He knows Coach Spo. I mean, they have a relationship now. I don't think he wants to go to another team and have to go through all that.
Yeah.
I think him and Wade are Heaters for life.
Yeah.
And I think Bosh is gone because I think Bosh. I know he says that he's okay now with being a complimentary star, but I think he wants to be the man again. I think he wants to go to a team where he can be somebody else's Wade and LeBron. He can be his own LeBron.
I don't see that. Because he's sitting pretty here. He wins championships. You don't have to do that much. All you got to do, man, come on. You had, 1 rebound or 1 point or something, 2 points or something in the championship game. Like, you ain't got to do much. All you got to step up when it's time for you to step up. I mean, I don't see him wanting to go put all that wear and tear on his body when he don't have to. When you in beautiful Miami, win the championship.
You're right. I just think that he wants more. I think he wants to be the guy. I think he wants to win a championship away from them.
If anybody, you think LeBron want more. I mean, who would get passed up a chance to be in LA? Like, that's huge.
I can't see him going to LA. I can't see him
come to the Knicks.
No, he ain't coming to the Knicks. There's no way he comes to the Knicks now.
Exactly.
He's not playing with Melo, and I don't think he wants that. I don't think he wants to come to New York and be the guy in New York. I don't think he wants that. He's done with the pressure.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to have more. There was a time when he had so much pressure, he couldn't win a championship. Then he had to go to the Heat and win a championship, and he won in that, the year that the Heat won, I think, was the shortened season, right?
Yeah.
That was the lockout year?
First one, yeah.
Because they went to the championship, but they lost to the Mavericks. Then the next year, I think, was the lockout year.
Yeah.
He had all that pressure to win. Now they've won. He's got no more pressure on him. He could just go out there and play back. He comes to New York, the pressure is back. You got to bring a championship to New York. They haven't won since since Walt Frazier's been on the team. You gotta win a championship. I don't think he wants that anymore. Just need that. But wrapping up for the show, Mountaineer, you did a great job. Not doing anything. Enjoy the pleasure to man as always.
Until Talkin Hoopz comes back into play, stay connected by getting at us on iTunes. Keep up to date with all the latest basketball news and rumors and check out all our shows by logging on to TalkinHoops.com.
Catch you on the rebound.